Keith, I'm fan freaking tastic. I got to see the Acolyte the night it came out, and I heard some things before watching it that I guess we'll get into in our discussion. But I think we can debunk those things, and I'll mention them right away when we start talking. Anyway, Doug, how are you doing?
Well, Dave, let me tell you, I am outstanding. You know, not so much because of the episode that we're going to review. It was fine, I guess. But talk a little bit more about that. No, I'm outstanding too. Do you want to know? Do you want to know why I'm outstanding, Dave?
I do too.
Dave, can I
Yes,
call
I
you
do.
Dave? Dave?
Keith,
Keith
call me
wants to
Dave.
know. Keith wants to know too.
Shh, hush, Keith. The grown-ups are talking. Dave, I'm outstanding because I get to hang out with my two friends here and talk nerdy stuff like Star Wars. That's why I'm outstanding, regardless of whether I really liked it or not.
That is outstanding. That's an outstanding attitude to have, sir.
Keith, sir, how are you?
Well,
Okay, that's
anytime.
enough. Thank you. No.
All right, moving on.
Let me get the acolyte thing in place. I'll be good.
Go editing boy. Oh, no, it'd be like the War Boys from from Furiosa.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm, mysterious names
Be
on those guys.
Chrome.
Well, I was tremendous.
You still are, Keith.
Yes, I am. We're talking. Anytime I get to talk to you, fine gentlemen, it is a good day. Even if what we're talking about wasn't, a 10 out of 10 like, X-Men 97 or something along those lines. Still interesting things to talk about and just fun talking to two of the greatest nerds out there.
Who are they?
I don't know. I'm hoping they join us tonight.
I claim to be one of mine. Sorry, I didn't know.
Are they in the chat? No, no, I don't see it.
Were you talking to me? Hey, Sierra's here. Speaking of that.
She's not a nerd
Hi
though.
there, hi there, ho there. Oh,
Whoa. Whoa, watch the language.
we're
She
doing a Snow White thing here.
Well, should we jump into episode 3 of The Acolyte?
Yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
should,
I
should,
think
should.
I think we should casually stroll into episode three. We should take a jaunty little skip and a hop over to episode three of the Acolyte.
Maybe we can stumble into it
I kind of feel like that's what they did to this episode, but
or sashay. I'm going to sashay into this episode.
Keith,
Keith, you want to lead us through it, or are you going to
actually,
jump right to the end?
Keith, Dave, I'd like to offer a little bit of insight. So I was watching this episode, and it got me thinking. What what really went on behind the scenes? What was the creative process for this kind of show? And I did some digging. I called up some of our friends over at Disney. I called all the fine folks that were responsible, and I finally was able to get the recipe for how this is made. And I'd like to, before we actually like get deep into the review, I'd just like to show you
Yeah,
exactly
let's
what they told me. So I've got
see
some of
your
the
ingredients.
ingredients prepared. All right, so here we go. Got my base. Got a little bit of little Star Wars here. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna just do that, and then
That was quick. Didn't even see
there we
anything.
go.
Okay.
That's the acolyte.
Why is that water bubbly now?
Yeah,
What do you
that's
got in there, Doug?
That was the Star Wars. The Star Wars. I blew a little bit of Star Wars into it. So it you know.
So you're saying it didn't have much to do with the Star Wars universe? Is this what you're saying?
I'm saying that I'm not trying to put down the people who were behind the creative process of this, but I feel like in their attempt to add in the overall feeling, the overall flavor of Star Wars, I think you know, they started to, and then they thought, you know what, it's too much We don't want to be too referential. We don't want to add, we don't want it to be over the top with the Easter eggs, because I think they're afraid to maybe make it be like, I see, there's the thing. Oh, they did that.
Like
Oh, there's
Obi-Wan.
R2. Oh, it's like, and I can understand that. I can understand why they would want to like ease off a little bit on it, but I think they eased off too much, because as I was watching this episode, also, the previous two, but definitely I was kind of noticing this ongoing theme of it has like almost a whiff of Star Wars that was wafted over it, but that was about it. It was really, to me anyway, and maybe you guys can help me through. Maybe you guys
what you're
can
saying is
argue
you
in
wanted
defense.
more Tatooine and Skywalkers in it.
No,
Insane.
definitely not more Tatooine than Skywalker.
Because
But okay,
I didn't get the same
I'll
feeling.
point out something a little bit later.
Yeah, I didn't get the same feeling. I felt it was very Star Warsy. Reading the High Republic comics and some of the books, it felt like it was a part of that era, different from, the Age of Rebellion and stuff we got in the original trilogy and stuff.
Sure.
So I didn't feel that at all. It feels Star Warsy to me. Now I'm not saying this is a. Am I echoing?
You are, but I don't know from who.
Oh, okay. They are certainly not knocking this out of the park. I mean, they got some mysteries that I'm like, I would like to know the answer to it, but just to see how they're going to write themselves to finish the episode. I'm not like, oh man, I want to know what this is. Who could it be? I'm like, I wonder how they're going to finish. I wonder how they're going to land this series. What are they going to do? And I do have some theories on what I think they might do, but it hasn't been like overly. I'm not sitting on the edge of my seat. I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's right around the middle. And of the 3 episodes that we've gotten so far, I think the last one was my least favorite, only because, and I don't want to harp on this because I feel terrible doing it, but those 2 child actors who were playing May and Osha were not great. And it was distracting in some of the scenes they were in to me. And I watched it again, and it was the same. I'm like, man, they're going to do better getting away from this flashback, because like I can't remember the lady's name who played the one mother. She was fantastic. In the scenes where she was acting with the kids, it was even so much more prominent that they were not doing a good job. And I was like, it took me out of it a few times, and it definitely could have been much better. It was disappointing in a way.
There was a scene with with the Osha child with Saul when she was crying to him before they got on the ship, and
right at the
it
end.
was just like it seemed forced. Forced. It seemed forced that she, her crying. It just seemed like, all right. They said, all right, now you got to cry, and then she went, So it was kind of bad. It was distracting. Do you care if I jump into the thing that I heard that I believe was supposed to polarize fans? Because I heard that going into the show. This was going to be a polarizing episode for the fans.
Sure, yeah, because I was wondering. I didn't see anything that seemed polarizing to me.
There was so much vitriol for this episode online.
And I don't get why. Like, to me, I don't think it deserved vitriol. I was just unimpressed, really.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's what I think it is. I think it is that obviously, they're a gay couple, so they couldn't conceive just them. And when she said she carried her, and then the other one said, I forget their names, and she said, "Well, I created them. I created them." I think that was supposed to be the moment that would be polarizing, because Anakin came from the Force. He was divine intervention or whatever. But at the same time, I'm thinking she created it. It wasn't the Force that created the twins. It was her that created it.
She used her witch magic. Sure. Okay.
So, that's what I think that moment was that they were alluding to. But I didn't feel polarized by it at all. I didn't feel like I would be on one side.
I was waiting for something like, I thought there was some like rumor floating about that, like just never. That's what it was. That's dumb.
That's a guess. That's my guess.
And think about it. Now, we don't know who created Anakin. You know, she said he didn't have a father. We don't know if there was some Sith play involved.
Some of the comics have implied that Palpatine had a
Right.
hand in creating him with the Force.
Yep, like he learned from Plagueis, and then yes.
Yeah.
But think about the one scene when Shimmy Skywalker said he has no father. Qui-Gon wasn't like, what? How did this happen?
Yeah,
So
no, he's
there-
just like, oh, yeah, okay.
So obviously it could have happened before. And, you know, the Force is all powerful and there's different ways to use it like any magic. And obviously they hinted at, you know, the tragic tale of Darth Plagueis the Wise. And he could create life. So it's not like this is something new. So I was like, Dave, after it happened, I was kind of like, I wonder if that's what everyone's complaining about. Because, you know, Anakin is no longer this special, you know, Force created Jesus type character. Now someone else has done it. And oh no, it was a minority lesbian couple. So, you know, the woke mob is, you know, out there and screaming about it. I was like, I see nothing in that episode outside of what I talked about earlier. I don't want to harp on that was that bad. I mean, did we need a whole
Besides
episode of the
Chapman?
flashback?
No, I don't think
I
we
don't
did.
mind. I like they did that on Walking Dead. I don't know if that was the first show. It was the first show I saw them do it on, where they would commit an entire episode to laying a backstory for something. But at the same time, I don't think what they explained needed to take an entire episode.
I agree.
And that's what I meant by it. That really could have been condensed into half an episode, 15 minutes, somewhere along the line.
Do me a favor. Light your torches, grab your pitchforks real quick,
Let's do it.
because I'm going to be that guy for just a brief moment.
I don't know if I can be up at dawn. So we can march.
All right, I gotta be that guy. I think this was done better in Andor.
That's like
The
saying
way that
I
they were
got wet
able
when I
to
jumped in the
weave-
ocean.
Yeah.
I mean, the way that they weaved a backstory while, you know, continuing to push the main story forward. Like, they gave us information about Cassian, about where he came from, about how he got to, you know, the planet that he was raised on, how they found him. It laid the background, laid the foundation of who he was and why he is the way that he is, and why he's looking for his sister. It laid that foundation without taking up an entire episode. It was little snippets, but woven very neatly into the ongoing narrative. And I think the Acolyte would have been better had they done something similar. And again, I'm not saying that they need to be identical to Andor. Do your own thing. Like, I'm fine with that. Like, seriously, I'm glad that we're doing something different other than sticking with the Age of Rebellion, the Skywalker story, all that stuff. I am glad that we're doing something different. But at the same time, maybe take a look at what other shows, as far as their structure, see what they did that worked, and maybe try and incorporate a similar structure to your presentation.
And I do think after watching this episode, this was from Osha's point of view. I think we're going to see different points of view of the same event later on in the series.
Really?
Yes. Because
Oh, God.
there's things that we don't know. So I think, like, we don't know what May saw, how that thing exploded in the center of their temple, how all the witches were killed. I mean, we have assumptions, but we don't really know all that went on. So I do think we're going to come back to this. And I'm not saying I want them to come back to this, trust me. But I think we're going to see,
Yeah.
because, you know, don't believe, you know, even in the, you know, your eyes can deceive you
Yeah.
from him teaching the Padawans. So they're going to try to layer on different things. Like, you know, we have no idea
Mm-hmm.
who killed the witches. Do you think now? It seems like they're really setting it up like the Jedi killed the witches, because
Probably.
it's not Master Tomlin. God, I forgot his name already. But the guy who was in the bearish vow and ended up drinking the poison. He had a scar and his eye was messed up when we saw him prior to this flashback. He was not like that. And he seemed a little eager to maybe confront the witches. So it seems like they came back.
Well,
maybe.
I mean, they mind controlled him, so
Yes. So I think not only is it going to be the Jedi that actually killed the witches, because why else would he take the poison when she confronts him when he was in that bearish vow? I mean, he feels guilty about something. But I wonder if the Sith may have provoked the situation a little bit. Not the apprentice, but maybe the Sith master, who could have also had a hand in teaching the one mother how to do this. And this could be, Darth Plagueis' master. I always say his name wrong, but it's like Darth Tannenbaum or something. And so
Tannenbaum?
he could have, like Tannenbaum.
That's what we always say.
So he could have had a hand in it in some way, like teaching them how to create life and having a thing, and him wanting to be like, yeah, create these twins because I'm going to take them from you, and I'm gonna, obviously the mother.
Maybe that's why they were on the run or something.
Yeah, why they were exiled, or something along those lines. There's going to be more to the story, but
well, I was going to say earlier, I'm glad that it was able to hook you. It didn't do that for me. I don't know about Dave, but I wasn't. The mystery of it all didn't really grab me in the same way. Like, I'm not wondering how they all died. I don't want to sound mean. I really am trying not to sound mean, but I don't care. I don't care what happened to them.
They haven't made you care yet.
No, they haven't done anything to really make me care. Like, and I'm not saying that because the acting from the adult characters was good. The shots looked nice. Some of the story was somewhat compelling, but the mystery that they're trying to push forward, just to me, it wasn't mysterious enough. It's like, I can make some assumptions, and whether I'm right or wrong, I don't care.
No, and I'm with you. I mean, I think about it because that's what we do, but I'm not.
Yeah. No.
Like,
I mean, I did too. I thought about it, but then I thought to myself, like, if they, end up going in a different direction, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. It's not like it's not the same feeling that we had during WandaVision. I'll put it that way, if that makes sense.
Agreed. Like they reeled us in pretty well. Kind of like, Dave. Exactly. And this I'm the same way. This is not doing it for me either. Like, I'm watching it and I'm like, okay. Like, it feels almost like work, me going, okay, who killed the Jedi? Did the Jedi kill him?
Yeah, it's Tuesday. Okay, here's another episode. I don't hate it, don't love it. Here it is.
Now, in the spirit of Not Your Status Quo, I will offer up my theory, and again, whether it's right or wrong,
But we're always right. But yes, go ahead.
My theory is essentially what you said. On first glance, based on the information, and again, I also assume that we're probably going to see this again from different points of view, from a certain point of view. But the way it looked, at least from this point of view, it would appear to me that May was not the one responsible for killing all the witches. I can't imagine her little fire with the book spread that far and killed that many people that quick.
Especially, she didn't hate them. Which is powerful in the Force.
Yeah, exactly. That seemed a little far-fetched. My theory is that it probably was the Jedi. Maybe not all of them, but it was at least one or two of them. But here's my theory as to why. So I've got more of a meta theory as to why. And this goes back to what I was talking about earlier with like the hints of Star Wars, the little whiff of Star Wars that's in there. What was do you all remember like what like the main thing that George Lucas was trying to do like with his films as far as like the events happening at the time? So like one of the things that he was always trying to push forward in all of his Star Wars movies, during the prequels, it was a lot of like 9/11 stuff. It was a lot of the politics that were going on at the time. He was trying to make like a lot of references towards George Bush's "if you're not with us, you're the enemy" kind of thing. And when it was the original Star Wars trilogy, he was kind of hinting a lot towards the Vietnam War era, and that was like there were little things that he would put in there to kind of like reference these real life events. I almost wonder if the creators of the Acolyte were doing something kind of similar, and I don't know which specific real life event maybe they were trying to reference, but the idea behind oh God, really,
you said
Dave.
which.
But I don't know if it seems like they're going with the whole the Jedi were either fearful or upset at any religion that wasn't like theirs or any teaching that wasn't like theirs. Like, it's like the Jedi way is the only way, the Jedi way is the right way, and everyone else is wrong, and therefore we're okay in killing these and doing away with these you know non-believers. They're not doing the Force the right way. Almost like they're crusaders in a way.
But they didn't seem overly bothered by the adults. They just wanted the twins because
They seem
they were
dismissive
kids.
of the adults to me.
Maybe
Yeah.
a little bit because we are the Jedi. They're very
Hmm.
we are the light and the peace in the galaxy. But they didn't seem like they were. Well, you guys use it differently.
No, they
So
didn't come off like that, but that's why I said it's just my assumption that perhaps that's what the creators are going for. If it does turn out that the Jedi were behind it. And that's also the only other reason why I was thinking of that is what's his name said that was floating that was in the that drank the
the
poison.
bearish vow was it Tobin?
He-
Torben?
I don't remember his name.
Corbin. That sounds right.
But
Corbin.
he do you remember the comment that he made when he finally before he drank the poison? We thought what we did was right or something like that.
That's
He
right.
did say something along those lines.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I'm kind of going towards that angle. Again, if it turns out it's something different, okay.
See, I see it as something
Right.
like, the I almost called her Rook or Roki, the other mother, the mall mother.
Yeah.
I'll call her the mall
Yeah.
mother because
The mall
she's-
mother. I like that, the mall mother.
The savage oppressed mother.
Yes.
Oh,
Savage
that would have
Opress.
been great. Oh, I wish they would have given her some
She
country
was
bumpkin accent.
she was much less willing to give up Osha to the Jedi. She didn't want to lose her.
Oh yeah.
And perhaps
yeah.
when they came back, she provoked the Jedi. Because I
can
honestly
see that.
don't see them coming in. I would be a little disappointed if they had these Jedi come in and just slaughter the witches. I think they're going to be provoked.
surprised.
I think they're the ones that killed them, but I think they were either provoked by the mother who didn't want Osha to go, or maybe there was some Sith shenanigans going on. Like there was a third party there that we didn't see yet.
Possibly.
Who was possibly
you know,
manipulating events.
That is very possible. I mean, it wouldn't be, again, the little hint of Star Wars. It's definitely what Palpatine did the entire time that he was trying to rise to power. He was always manipulating events. So, again, it wouldn't surprise me if that was the case as well. But the other thing that I was thinking back to, because the first two episodes I think were better. They weren't fantastic by any means, but I thought they were a little bit better than this one. But the sort of political nature that the Jedi were kind of gearing towards when they were, saying, "Oh, we better, take care of this. We better, deal with this quickly before anybody finds out." When they were talking about, getting Osha, and it seemed like they were implying not even giving her a trial, just kind of.
Well, and think about it with them trying to brush this under the rug because they don't want any bad press. Them having to explain that this dark side
Genocide
user
happened.
is trying to kill Jedi because they killed an entire coven of witches. I mean, that would be something they want to, even if the
They
Jedi were
wouldn't
in
want
the
that
right.
to get out either. Yeah.
Exactly. So, we may see more of that. I hope we do because that is a much better angle to go down than just kind of treading forward with she's going to try to kill Chewbacca, Kalneka. And that's the thing.
Chewbacca Jr.
Chewbacca's great grandfather.
Yeah.
But Kalneka, I mean, we need a little bit more to really, because I'm happy when it's Tuesday night. I'm like, oh, okay, I hope this is good.
Yeah, it's something to watch.
But I'm not like,
Yeah.
it's not like watching that first season of Mandalorian, which we talked about last week.
Right.
I was like, can't wait for that episode. It's so good. And this, I'm like,
I
I'll
was
watch it.
surprised at how good it was.
Or at Andor, it's like,
Right?
oh my God. The rest of the week,
Hooked
can put on
immediately.
hold. Yeah. That was just amazing
Yeah, with
show.
Andor, we were counting down the hours until the next one came. And this, I'm like, well, Tuesday will get here
I mean,
at some point.
Andor
Yeah.
gave us Tim with 2 M's. What has the Acolyte even given us?
Well, we got Osha. Remember we were talking about that?
Yeah.
Is there two H's?
She's the one who was doing illegal ship repairs and named after the Safety Commission.
Okay, all right, fair.
But I will be happy to get back to the older actress playing the twins again.
Yeah,
Because I think
too.
she did a good job. And I really hope this gets back on track. And it's a little more intriguing and a little more... But right now, it's almost like Special Investigation. Better than Special Investigation, but in the sense that there was no... I was never like, oh my God, who's a Skrull? They were so blatant about who it was.
I think I was more angry at Special Investigation because it was supposed to be better.
But
it could have been a colossal hit. It could have been an amazing show, but then they fumbled it. You saw it.
Yeah, I saw it. But yeah, so this I'm not angry at it because I wasn't going in expecting it. I've noticed that a lot with like different movies and shows. When I don't go in with any expectations, I'm less mean towards it. I was so angry at Special Investigation because it was supposed to be good. The comic was so much better. And I knew that there was no way they could do the same storyline as the comic, but oh my gosh, they went in such a weirdly different direction.
yeah, I will never forgive them for naming a show after a great comic book series and giving us that. That would be like Star Wars coming out with Knights of the Old Republic
when it
and
opened,
then it being just wretched.
When it opened with that AI art generated garbage, I was like, oh, this is the level of care they put into this. Great. Okay.
Right.
But you know what? I don't want this entire stream to be us hating on the Acolyte because, like I said, there were some good things. There were a few good things sprinkled in there. Otherwise, this would be, I don't want to speak for all three of us, but none of us are rating this a 0 on the Doug scale, right?
Not at all.
Yeah. So, okay, I want to just mention a few good points about this episode, some things that I did like. All right. And first, I will just make kind of a statement. If you want to agree, you can or not. I'm not going to be overly cruel or negative or mean to the child actors. I don't think they did a good job, but at the same time, we're pretty well versed when it comes to reviewing a lot of different movies and TV shows and everything like that. We've all done this for a while now, and it is difficult sometimes to find good child actors. It is very difficult to do that. It's not an easy process, for young girls or boys or whatever to be able to learn that many lines and be able to being able to be, dramatic and show a wide range of different emotions that scenes call for. So sometimes their words can sound a bit stiff because the best that they can hope to accomplish is remembering the lines that they were taught. And so, I'm not going to fault them too much for that. Again, I think they could have done this different with just giving us little bits and pieces without it being an entire episode. Maybe that would have made it better. So I'm not going to fault them for that. But here is the thing that I loved about this episode. So many of the shots. Now, this is where I think it did remind me a bit of Andor. There were a lot of really open, wide world shots. Zooming in on that cliff and showing us, when they had the title of the planet that they were on and showing us that like sort of Stonehenge thing as they were coming in. I'm like, oh, okay, this is nice. It's kind of Andor-ish. It reminds me of that as we're entering like a new planet and having these big, wide open scenes that didn't feel like we were cramped in the volume. Having like these, some of the lighting was done really well when they were doing their weird witch chant with the stupid song that I didn't like.
Anyone else think they should have done it in a different language and not be English?
Anything. So, power of one, the power of two,
the power of many.
Boogity boo. I don't know.
Power of many. At least make it sound mysterious.
You know what? As soon as I hit the mute button, it looked really nice. It was a really well shot scene. The lighting was good. The camera work was pretty phenomenal. I mean, it all looked really nice. The scene earlier when they were having the girls practice the Force, I thought that was really interesting. Having them kind of push against each other to see. And I was like, okay, that's an interesting take on it. I like that. That was a well done scene. When they were
Correct.
doing the Jedi test, and they were, holding up the images, and kind of reminds you of that the little whiff of Star Wars again. It's like, oh yeah, it's
We'll
just
look
like
at
a
Ghostbusters
yeah.
too.
Oh well, yeah, that too. But yeah, it was like it's episode 1, which I heard they were going to release. I don't know if it ever came out, but
It's a mountain.
Yeah, keep
Oh,
going.
you are correct.
yeah. I thought that was a well done scene. I like that because like they knew what she was doing. So yeah, there was a lot of good sprinkled in. And maybe had they done taken those good scenes and just kind of sprinkled them into a regular episode moving the story forward, I think I
Yeah.
would have appreciated it more.
Yeah, definitely. They could have done like a Green Arrow. You remember Green Arrow in season one, when they would, he would have a relevant situation and he would flash back to 5 years before.
Yes,
It explains
exactly.
why he's thinking the way he is. That would have been a good idea for this episode.
There you go.
I agree. That way, only half the show could be the flashback, and that's all they really needed.
That's
for
all
the
they
half
really
the
needed.
show to explain that
And
stuff.
not the song. They did not need that song.
Should have done it in
Oh,
some
yeah.
other language, Huttese or something. Because I was the same thing. I'm like, that would have been a cool scene because it really did. It looked great. The costume design that we're
The
getting for
costume
the
design was
characters,
really good.
awesome. The score has been good. Hasn't been great, but it's been good. I've been enjoying it for the most
Is it
part.
Kevin Kiner?
It is not.
Okay.
But Jodie Turner-Smith, who was the mother, she was phenomenal. She did such a
Yeah.
great job. And there's one thing I want to see that was sort of hinted at, I suppose, in this episode. I want to see the fight between the witches and the Jedi. We need to see that at some point because seeing Carrie-Anne Moss again wielding a lightsaber, Soul jumping around against all these witches, that could be a fantastic, very Star Warsy scene. And of course, they held off, and
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, are they holding it back because that's going to be something that we don't know now because Osha didn't see it, and this was all from Osha's perspective. So we're going to see it later from maybe Torben's perspective. Well, we can't because I guess he's dead now.
Yeah.
So maybe from Soul's
little bit.
perspective or something along those lines. I want to see that.
Well, maybe we'll
because-
see May's perspective too. Because it could be after she started the fire by the door, maybe she ran in the direction and saw something. Because the way that they are arguing with each other, what did you do? What did you do?
Very
It's
true.
kind of messed up is that like she had a real problem with lying to the Jedi. This is just a small, tiny thing. But then she didn't have a problem lying to her sister about it. You know what I mean?
But she told her sister she would do it, and then when she got in the moment, she couldn't do it. That's not necessarily lying because she didn't go and then tell her, "I failed it on purpose." I don't. She meant.
So I was gonna say, I thought I remembered her coming back out, and she asked her, "Did you fail?" And she said yes. And then May, talked it out of her that she didn't actually fail on purpose.
Maybe.
I don't know. I'd have to watch it again.
I do think another thing
Yeah.
they did pretty well is kind of show, May with threatening to kill her sister. If she, I would rather kill you than see you leave.
That was weird.
And
Did you
her-
think that was weird?
Yeah, and her grabbing that bug at the beginning when she was holding it with the Force. She's obviously more powerful than Osha in the Force, at least more adept at this point. And we know that Osha doesn't doesn't become a Jedi Knight, doesn't pass her trials. So I like kind of they're twins, but they're obviously different. Osha's like, I want to be my own person. I do want to be a Jedi. Where May is like, no, we're going to be witches together. We need to be together. So they're kind of showing how these twins are different. And I hope
That's
that
why the
plays
"I'm
in-
going to kill you" thing threw me off because that seemed kind of out of character.
Well, and it could have been just anger brewing up. We've all said very dumb things in anger. And she was so mad.
She's just an
thinking she was
emotional
gonna-
kid. What were they, 8 years old?
Okay. Yeah, something like that, I
I
think.
think so, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, they were
Too old to
Too
train.
old, too old, too old to train.
And I hope.
Jedi she cannot be.
I was watching that. I'm like, okay, she threatened to kill her. She didn't mind setting fire to the entire temple. Where Osha didn't want to lie to the Jedi, wanted to become a Jedi Knight. I
Mhm.
really hope they don't turn this into, we tricked you. She was the good twin all along, and she was the evil twin. Because if they do
Yeah.
that, they have not set that up in any way.
Sure, go
Just
for
like if we
it.
found out they were working together, it would just be a bad thing.
Here's a preview of what I'll be like when they do reveal that with the twist. I'll be like, oh no, what?
Now, I do think
Right,
at
you
some
know-
point, because they did hint at, they told us that May always knows where to look for Osha at that tree when she runs off. So there could become a point at some point where they're like, okay, meet at the place. And they may meet there to talk things through and figure out, what's going on. And maybe it's Osha trying to get May away from the Sith, and May trying to recruit Osha, to come to the dark side or something. They may have a fight of some type, but still, once again, I just want to see the witches versus the Jedi. Show me that battle more than anything else. If you keep it from us, we will march at dawn. At least march at
I
march
did
at noon.
not. I didn't look it up,
dude, that's
so I don't know if either of you two know. The young version of Ocean May, was that played by two actresses or one?
I thought it was too because they look different. Like I could tell which one was Osha and which one was May in every scene.
But the kids?
Yeah, the kids.
Oh, the kids were definitely two different kids.
Okay, I wasn't positive.
But the older one is not.
Yeah, right. So yeah, if they do show us a fight now, that'd be impressive, because it's not easy to play two characters. Like we saw that in Split.
Well,
We
one
saw
of them
that
will
in
probably
WandaVision
have
with
the hood on.
the Vision.
Yes, we did. Yeah.
One of them will probably just have the hood on, and film from behind if that happens. You know what I mean?
Well, I would hope they would give it a little bit more effort than that.
You would think, but
Right.
we can't trust anything anymore.
Yeah,
Knowing that we have better ideas for the show than they do.
Well,
Kind of scary.
speaking of better ideas, okay, are you ready for this?
Oh yeah.
I got a theory. Okay, this is the scene that we haven't. This is the scene that we haven't seen yet.
Which scene is that?
That's a good one. Okay, so you know how you mentioned that the witches and the Jedi were probably fighting? Well, what if a certain Jedi gave them the upper hand? All of a sudden, we see an old rusty speeder pull up, and we hear, "Sorry, I'm late, fellow Jedi." Opens the door, a whole bunch of, like space beer cans fall out of it. Yoda hops out, jumps onto a skateboard, turns his hat backwards, and then just throws all the witches off a cliff. All right,
Right.
this battle we did.
Because he was only 800 then, so he
Right.
was still in his party phase.
And then it's just like, Yoda! And then it freeze frame, credits roll. So, there you go.
Just
It is
so
like- it
you
is
know,
one of
Sierra
Like
cashed
this.
in a Gilbert. So we have got to hear 5 minutes of me talking like Gilbert Godfrey. So you know it's going to be a good time. Because
All
I
right.
hope we see Bro Yoda. Because at least that'll give me something to care about. Even if it's utter and complete hatred.
Wouldn't make any sense, wouldn't fit in the story, but at this point, why not?
They could really
No,
do
they don't.
anything. I hope we see Luke Skywalker come back in time
Time travel.
Yeah.
and be the one
With
that
Babel.
saves the day. We see his X-Wing fly in, and they go, "Oh, you should train Osha because she needs your tutelage." And he'll go, "I already have a baby Yoda. I don't need another one. But you know what? Go find another Jedi." And then that would be awesome.
Here's how to really make all the fans angry. Okay, so going back to your theory, Luke Skywalker comes back and he goes and he saves the day, right? And everyone's like, "Wow, where did you come from?" And he goes, "I came from the future." And they're like, Oh, well, how'd you do that? It's a force power that I decided. It's a new force power, and it's canon now because it's in the ha ha ha, it's a new force power, and I just invented it, and now it's in Star Wars Forever, and there you go, it's on the Wikipedia page.
And when he says it's canon, he winks right at the camera.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, all the the Star Wars theory, the critical drinkers, they're all just gonna just jump up.
They'll be so blown away with how awesome it was that Luke Skywalker time traveled and saved the day yet again.
They ruined Luke. That's not how the Force works.
And he's gonna grab Darth Plagueis right out of the shadows and rip his heart out and say, "That's what you get, you evil Sith Lord. I'm changing the future." And then finally, we'll get something for the prequels or something that's all different, because Anakin was never created. It'll just be dancing Jawas and dancing Ewoks for 9 movies. Episode
and then
1
him
through
and
9.
Ahsoka totally make out.
And they have a kid who ends up saving the universe at the dawn of the
and he's
Jedi
got 3 eyes.
in James Mangold's movie. Time travel, Ahsoka.
Are you hearing this? Are you hearing this, Disney? Look at all the great ideas we have.
You know, Kathleen Kennedy isn't going to take our great ideas. She's probably like, those sound ridiculous. Who would ever do
Ray
it?
is half Wookiee and half Palpatine.
Hey, wait a minute.
Hey, we got to represent. I can't speak Wookiee, so I can't.
Another thing that was good, the Wookiee growl sounded great. So that was another good part of this episode.
Is that it? Is that all you got?
No, I said other things. Did you forget already, Doug? Come on.
I did. That was a long time ago.
But I talked about Jodie Turner-Smith and how great she was, and the costumes, and the score. While the score's not great, it's still really good. So I'm enjoying that.
None of the I guess I would have to go back and I hate to say it, I do have to go back and watch, I guess. I'm not remembering any of the score. Like, nothing's jumping out at me. Like, I remember some of the musical cues that they had in Andor, like a lot of the musical cues. I'm remembering a lot of what they used in The Bad Batch, a lot of what they had in The Mandalorian. Nothing is coming to mind other than the witch song from this episode. And I'm not doing that on purpose to try and like dog on them, but like nothing of like the general score is jumping to my memory. I don't know why.
I was wondering when they were singing, and I didn't, obviously it's a lot to go back and check out, but did the Witches of Dathomir in the Clone Wars, did they have moments like that where they're all casting spells and singing?
There's casting spells together, but they don't remember them singing. And the 5 minutes.
They certainly didn't show it to us.
Yes.
Oh, all of a sudden we're gonna get like some sort of like Star Wars flashback of Maul, like, Savage, you remember that one time when all of our sisters and mothers were singing? Sure do, Molly.
Well,
yep.
We know, Mother Talzin,
Is your time up yet?
Yeah, it's 5 minutes is up.
Oh,
it dinged. Okay. You guys can't hear it, but it dings out to the crowd, dings out to the masses. But and I can hear it because it's here. But this is what's going to happen. They're going to have another flashback or flash forward to Mother Talzin, the Dathomir witch. And she's going to be, it was Talzin all along. I'm in Sidious. Darth Maul, he's my kid. It's going to be great.
You know what? That would be great. I would do it. Bring it on.
Do it.
It's going to be better than Agatha's Agonies or Darkhold Diaries or
Can't wait for that musical show.
Witches of Westview or whatever the hell they're calling it.
Agatha
Westeros.
of Westview, the Agatha the witch with a great wardrobe.
Yeah. Wait, is that really one of the titles?
That was one of the ones they had out. Yeah.
Oh my God. Disney, I hate you so much. I hate you. God.
Yeah, but you don't hate them as much as Sony.
That's true. That's true. But Dave, Sony gave us this masterpiece. Okay, what has Disney done for us lately?
Well, the
Andor.
Acolyte. I would say the Acolyte is slightly better than Madam Web.
Sierra wants another 5 minutes because I messed up. Sorry, Sierra, not another 5 minutes because I only screwed up for like 3 seconds. So you get a free 3 seconds of Gilbert.
Done.
There it is. It's over.
I don't know. I think Madam Web should win the Oscar for best comedy. It was hilarious.
It was one of the biggest laughs I've ever had in a movie theater when she drove that ambulance through the second floor of that thing and hit.
And it's like, is that how the streets of New York work?
Yes. Yes. You can go to Peru, come back with the same cab, stolen cab.
Drive out of a billboard.
Remember, not only did she drive to the airport with a stolen thing and it was still waiting for her, but she was a felon because they thought she kidnapped the girls and still was able to fly to Peru and back without
a felon in 2003, right?
Just after 9/11, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, post 9/11. Like we were just getting ready to invade Iraq. They were putting forth the Homeland Security was becoming a new, more powerful department. And she just, as a felon, went to another country after having stolen potentially children and a vehicle.
Yep.
Yes, the Acolyte is better than
Boy
that.
before anybody else did whatever that was.
The Acolyte storytelling is better than that.
Yep.
And one other thing I forgot to add. Because I watched it again today and I slow-moed through the scene. We never saw the twins' other mother's dead body.
Oh, we didn't?
No.
Really now? I thought I saw her there.
Okay.
So,
I also... go ahead.
I was just going to say, so she could be out there working. She could be the Sith that is trying to get May to go, and that's why she hasn't revealed herself yet. Or she could have just been working for the Sith back then. But the fact that they did not show her body makes me think that her point of view may be something we see later on. We may see May's, hers, one of the Jedi. You know, we may see what really happened, you know, by a couple different things. Because they were very, very, very much showing us just Osha's point of view. And we all know, don't believe what your eyes show you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if they spend another entire episode on something like that, I might have a problem with it.
If Keith is right, they might do it. You know, if Keith is right about this, you know, different points of view thing.
I hope, please.
You know what is it? They took a section, like every time they led up to a certain event, they took everyone's perspective. Like, here's this person's perspective up until this point. And then they do that with the next character. That would have been kind of cool.
That would have been a fine way to do it.
Yep.
Again, kind of intersperse it, you know, within the larger episode. Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Yeah, and I hope...
So I did something similar, Keith. I ended up recording over it because I couldn't get Disney Plus to play slow enough. So I actually screen recorded the episode so I could play it really slow. And I was like kind of scooting forward, and I did pick up on a couple of things. That's what, because like I said, it was just really unsettling to me, like watching the episode, and I couldn't put my finger on the way that I was feeling about it. And that's when I finally was like, okay, it's like there are bits of Star Wars, and it's like you know, little bits here and there. But one scene really did stand out to me, and I don't know if this was intentional or not, but almost 35 minutes into the episode, not quite. as they're flying away from, the witch coven, I kid you not, it looked just like Darth Vader's castle on Mustafar. The way the fire was, it split down the center, and then you could see the fire, and it sort of looked like the way the lava runs down in his castle. And again, I don't know if they, just set up the shot and it just happened to look like that on accident, or if that was intentional.
Ooh, now I'm gonna have to watch it again to see if.
You never know with the writers.
It was about 34 minutes and 43 seconds into the episode.
All right, but if it's at 42 seconds, I'm not talking to you again.
How dare you lead us astray, Doug? Unacceptable.
At one point, so the reason why I did originally decide to screen record it, I thought I saw a shadow, like a tall shadow, in the door as Osha was running away from it, getting ready to unscrew her little secret hatch or whatever the hell that was. And so I was like, wait, what was that? And I couldn't get it to play slow enough for me to see. And so that's why I ended up deciding to screen record it. And played it back. It turned out it was nothing, but I thought I had saw something.
He'll knock him.
And,
I don't know. Maybe somebody snuck in and re-edited the episode. Took away the shadow creature that I saw.
Well, think about this too.
Maybe you're the only one.
We did see a little bit of friction between the two mothers. Because Anissa was very kind and loving, and she was even if she wants to be a Jedi, she'll have to make her own choice. Yeah,
and Mommy Maul said that she needed to discipline them more.
Right. So do you think maybe she felt like she was too weak and not a strong leader, and maybe tried to? David didn't like that theory at all, and maybe she is the one who instigates the fight with the Jedi against the Nissa's better wishes. Like we might see her point of view, at a later date. And I had to do it. Your mother was letting you have 4 spice cakes after the ascension.
You need to create like a little video clip that you can play. It just every time we're talking about a different point of view, just cue it up and it's Obi-Wan from a certain point of view.
I will definitely get that sound clip. We need it.
Because I feel like we're going to be saying that a lot going forward.
I agree.
Oh boy, everybody's going to be so excited. What's that, Dave?
As far as what I trusted from the showrunner, Leslye Headland, this is more like season 2 of Russian Doll over season 1. Season 1 was pretty good. It had a nice little mystery to it.
Oh yeah.
And then season 2 was just kind of blah. And the season so far has just been blah.
It's like they're milking Russian Doll. Everybody liked Russian Doll, so they're trying to get more content out of it. Yeah, I didn't finish watching season 2.
You didn't watch the whole thing or at all?
No, I got through I think like 4 episodes and I got distracted and watched something else. Nope. Dave was upset by that.
Yeah,
I should have watched all of it, man.
But he's not wrong. I mean, I didn't see any seasons of Russian Doll, but this mystery has not been overly.
No, it hasn't been compelling to me.
That's a good word. It's not been compelling at all. Especially it's a murder mystery. Who's killing the Jedi? And we know the first. We pretty much know why she's killing the Jedi at this point.
And it's like at this point, it's almost like they're trying to generate a new mystery. Like, oh, right, detective, you solved it. Shit, we need another mystery. It'd be like if somebody went on Where in the World was Carmen Sandiego, and within like the first 5 seconds, oh, she's right there. Wow, this show's supposed to go on for another half an hour. Okay.
We're in trouble here. Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
What?
I have an unstable internet connection. That's why it keeps going out.
I was wondering.
Have you thought of getting a stable internet connection?
I would love to, but I use WOW, Wide Open West, and it's like they get.
Is that what it stands for?
Yeah. Yeah. Wow, huh?
I
Anyway,
didn't know that.
They,
Wow.
they gave me a router, and it seems like this router was the very first one invented or something. It's just like,
Does it have Al Gore's signature on the bottom?
yeah, what is it from 1973? What the hell?
Do you have to like crank start it?
Yeah, gotta crank start it, and hopefully it doesn't hurt my friends. And it sparks up.
Dave, you forgot to crank the router this morning. The internet's is down.
The interwebs. We don't have no interwebs. Oh, yeah, it's terrible.
Oh, hold on. Let me get the pilot light going in the interwebs machine.
I mean, even when I'm watching on the Xbox, watching these shows, it like probably every 5 minutes it stops for like 30
Stutters.
seconds and it has to rehook up.
That's a
It's
shame.
so annoying.
Well, I tell you to, call and give them a piece of your mind, but they don't care.
They don't. They just do not
They
care.
do not care. Do you know why?
No.
Because what are you going to do about it? Who are you going to go to?
Yeah.
Huh?
Right.
What choice do you have? You have the illusion of choice.
Right. I
And
think
they know
I
that.
don't even have Xfinity or AT&T in my area at all. So I'm stuck.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, Wide Open West can fix that issue and get you a stable internets.
Interwebs.
Dang,
Well,
interwebs.
yee-haw, partner. If you want customer support, you're going to have to come on down to New Mexico way.
So you guys are moving around like Max Headroom. It's like very robotic.
Well, yeah, that's on purpose.
Dave.
Keith installed a new module in OBS that it's a 80s vision.
Oh, right. Right.
Well,
Let me see. Okay, I'm back.
should we rate this episode?
Yeah,
I'd
sure.
like to rate.
Dave, would you like to start before you cut out again?
Sure. I gotta tell you guys, in my opinion, the quality is going down as the season progresses. Like, yes, the acting of the children was very distracting, but then there's like what we mentioned is that they went a little too in depth in this episode, where they could have just had some flashbacks to the key scenes and played it out that way. But they went a little too in depth. Maybe they didn't have enough to fill out 8 episodes without going so much in depth. I don't know, but it left a little dry taste in my mouth, I guess. So I'm gonna give this week's episode a 4.5, just below average.
Yeah.
Who's next?
This episode definitely was the weakest of the season, in my opinion. I thought 1 was, good. I thought 2 was a bit better. This one was definitely a step back. And I really was like, this could have been sprinkled in as we meet certain characters and they talk about what they saw and what they did. Instead of trying to pile it into one episode like they did, when May got on board, she could have told, well, for the anyone else there, this is kind of what happened and we see it. And then, when they confront May at a later date, well, this is what I saw happen. And it was just nothing enthralling at all with this episode. Like, I love the costumes. I thought, Jodie Turner-Smith was tremendous. I thought, the set design was pretty cool. I got to go back to see if it looked like, Vader's castle on Mustafar, with at the end. But overall, it just wasn't, they're not executing on getting me engaged in this mystery, or, it's me going, okay, we're going to talk about it on the stream. I better try to think of some theories instead of me like, oh, that was so good. I think this is going to happen. It's like almost punching in on the time clock. All right, let's think of some theories now, because that wasn't great. But I still think it was just a bit above average. So I'm going to give this episode a 5.2.
So this entire time, generally what I do like to do is after I compile my thoughts, after watching an episode, usually the next day, unless we're going to record something, the day or the night that something comes out. Usually the following day, I'll compile my thoughts and I'll come up with my rating. And I thought for sure that Dave was going to be more harsh than me, but in the weirdest twist, I'm actually giving this episode a 4 out of 10.
That is shocking.
I thought that it was so here's the thing, and this is based
You
on
thought it was woke garbage?
do not even pile me in with those.
You have to put our channel in a different category.
They haven't. I bet they haven't even watched the episode. But no, so I'm kind of basing this off of the other two episodes, which, if you remember our previous review, I said they were fine. I think I rated them a 5, if I'm not mistaken. And I thought they were pretty average. They were okay. They weren't the greatest thing ever. I wasn't immediately enthralled. I wasn't taken in like I was when I watched The Mandalorian or Andor. Obviously because there were men in those shows, and there weren't any in this one. Don't ban us. No, it was those episodes were fine, and this one seemed a little less than that. I felt like it was a bit of a step down. And again, I've expressed what I think they could have done different. I think it could have been shot a bit different. I think it could have been interspersed more. It did have some good things, which is why I'm not dropping it down to like a 3 or a 2 or anything like that, but I think it could have been better. I think that there was some potential there for it to be better. And I see, like I said, the little hints of little sprinklings of Star Wars here and there that I think they could maybe just lean a little bit more into, just a little bit more, because I see what they're trying to do, and I see that they're attempting to set something up. I haven't really been pulled in yet. I don't feel as what was the word I used a bit ago?
Compelled?
Invested, thank you. I forgot the word that I used. I haven't felt as invested in the new mystery that they're trying to present to us, just because they accidentally solved their own original mystery in the first episode. So I don't care yet, and I'm sorry. Maybe the next week's episode and after that, maybe they'll get better. It could potentially, it can only really go up from here, right? I don't think it could get worse. And also,
don't say that.
And also,
he's buying a popcorn bucket all of a sudden he's going to have an Acolyte popcorn bucket.
And purchase. Anyway, so it's shaped like Uncle Chewie's head.
Fantastic. And the thing, we've heard that there's supposed to be a lightsaber battle that is, on par with, Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
And we hear things. If they do that, if they pull that off, and it's not just, talk that we've heard from other things, yeah, it'll get better. But it's not like, remember how much we were invested in what, I can't think of Ray Stevenson's character now from Ahsoka.
Oh, Baylan.
Yeah, what Baylan's skull. They did a good job of, he's doing things, but there's an ulterior motive.
Keith, that is a score I remember. I can never get Baylan's theme out of my head. Phenomenal music. Yep. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're right. And, even though Ahsoka kind of ended on a flat note, the final episode wasn't great, there was a lot of good in that show, and it really kept me invested. Like, what's Baylan up to? What's his real end goal here, especially when he gets to the other galaxy and Shin and all this other stuff. It was really where this is.
Oh, and Sierra's favorite character, man.
Yes.
Just being able to follow what she was up to.
Knowing that Sabine's loft cat wasn't cared for months on end. Just
Baylan's story, the B story by the end was more interesting than the main story.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
And that's cool, actually. I think that's pretty cool when you can do that. When you have that much going on the show. They want to come back for the next season. It's going to suck because he's not there. But when you come back for the next season, you want to find out what happened to Bailey.
Well, especially with what with the Mortis gods and him standing on it. That is. Oh, Sierra, LOL. I hate Sabine.
You love her. Don't play with me.
Just so you know, Sierra, Sabine was at the premiere of The Acolyte, so I think we are going to get a time traveling Sabine in her Mandalorian armor showing up to blast people.
Hurry, Osha! Get into the Millennium Falcon.
I'm a
to the future.
I'm a Mandalorian Jedi. Bam, 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 bam.
Wait, you can't be a Jedi until we go to Tatooine. Let's go.
Yeah. What do you guys call Tatooine here? Oh, we call it Tatooine. It's the nexus of everything in our universe.
I mean, anything that's everything is on Tatooine. It is just a bustling, amazing city. But you know what? They are talking about that we may end up going to war with the Hutt clan. I sure hope that nothing gets devastated and that it doesn't fall into complete ruin and disrepair and turn into a hive of villainy and scum.
Well, don't worry. Something's going to happen to Jabba. Princess Leia is going to tap into the dark side and murder him in cold blood. And then a Mandalorian warrior is going to come take over his crime syndicate as a peaceful Tusken Raider.
But first, he has to get eaten and pooped out the backside of the planet.
That's right.
Can't miss that part of the story.
Did you guys know? I don't know if you
I
guys
saw
this.
the Patton Oswalt thing. Yes,
Jon
I didn't
Favreau-
know they did that.
I didn't either. Jon Favreau timed out the scene of him escaping from the Sarlacc exactly to Patton Oswalt's rant.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
I did see.
From
I think you
Parks
sent
and
that to
Rec.
me.
The
Yeah.
what?
Oh,
I said, I think you sent that to me. That's how I do it.
Oh, that's right. I probably did. I was laughing when I saw that. I'm like, oh, that is so cool. That is a nice little touch.
Yeah.
Little things you don't know.
that was cool. That's when they. That's something that I do enjoy when they take note of what certain fans are saying, and that because at the end of the day, I think Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, I think they're just huge Star Wars fans too. They're just big old nerds banging their toys together, and they're going to take what they like and they're going to put it into the Star Wars series. That's why all of the people that argue, "Oh, Legends is dead. They took all my favorite books. They took the one about Luke with 2 U's and they burned it." Wow, okay, but they're going to take some of the cool stuff. Like, that's how we get Thrawn.
Yep.
They are taking some of the good stuff and they're putting it into Star Wars, and
They can do so much with Thrawn. I hope they don't just throw him away willy nilly, like one episode.
that one
movie
season of
or
Ahsoka,
something.
that's all he's going to be in. I'm sorry, Dave. That was
Right. Well, no, we'll get another season with him and Ahsoka,
He-
but
no.
movie,
He died.
nope,
He died off screen.
he died off screen.
Oh,
Yeah,
did Morty kill him?
Yeah, Morty killed him. Yeah.
I killed him off screen.
And we would just like to apologize for all of the spoilers for Ahsoka season 2 we just gave up. We feel terrible.
Excuse me.
So sorry.
Oh God.
Sabine becomes the new Mortis daughter, all powerful.
You know what? We're gonna have to play this back when that does actually become the plot point. We called it first, not your status quo. 100%, all the time, correct every time.
Right? 60%. We're right 100% of the time, 60% of the time.
Every time.
Well, the thing is, I don't know if you guys saw
makes
this,
sense.
but the 2-episode premiere of The Acolyte had over 11 million views, which is the highest premiere of anything on Disney Plus this year. I'm looking forward to see how this episode does, and if it's going to continue this, or if it's going to start dropping viewers. Because honestly, I can see a lot of people after this episode maybe dropping off.
Unfollowed. Come on, Sierra.
Too many spoilers.
We're gonna have an entire flashback episode of why Ezra decided it was a good idea to wear that stormtrooper uniform. It's gonna all be set in the one tiny little escape pod that he was flying in, and he's just gonna have a back and forth conversation. Yeah, but it'll be so funny. Oh, but they might shoot me. Worth it.
I could totally block the bolts with my Jedi powers. Yeah, oh yeah, Ezra, you certainly could. You're the main Jedi. You're right, I am. Thank you for pointing that out. I would watch that.
I am a little rusty. No, I got this.
Oh, and by the way, a lot of other people thought Quimir was Ezra Miller too when they first saw him. So I was not the only one.
Really?
Yes, I saw there was a bunch of people online saying, I honestly thought that was Ezra Miller when he first appeared. Because I was like, what the? Why is that guy still acting? Isn't he in Iceland?
No. Sony is. Warner is getting ready to film The Flash too. Look, people have forgotten about his weird cult where he abducted people. People have forgotten about that by now, so it's okay. It's Morbin time with The Flash.
Speaking of that, did that movie make $100 million?
I don't know.
The Flash?
The Flash? Yeah.
I don't know. I know it lost a ton.
Well, they did have to spend a lot of money CGing that baby microwave scene.
Oh, it did. It had a budget of $220 million, and it made 271. So actually, they say you got to double the production budget for everything, and then So they taken like a $170 million loss.
Pretty much, because they did market this. They had to market it in order to save face because of all the controversy.
Yep.
There were a lot of commercials there, and they were really, really pushing. Yeah, but we got Michael Keaton, you guys. We got Michael Keaton. All right, forget Ezra Miller's in this.
That
forget
was
one microwave babies.
That was one of those movies where I went in with such high hopes and so completely disappointed.
You went in with high hopes?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't.
Just because, James Gunn saying it was one of the best superhero movies he's ever seen.
Oh, I
Michael
didn't buy
Keaton
it.
is in it.
That felt like marketing speak.
But for some reason, James Gunn is always, I always tell you the truth out here. And he usually does. Like when he says, this isn't true, it's not true. Or if he says, yes, we're going down that path. He seems pretty honest online. And we said that. I was like, okay, this is going to be good. I didn't expect it to be the best superhero movie ever. But I was like, Michael Keaton's in there. We got a lot that could really unfold in this. Things that we probably don't know. This is going to be good. I'm so fired up. And
Michael Keaton was potentially in Morbius, okay?
Yes. And that was the best part of it. Hey, why don't we go get that there Spider-Man together? Form a team of 6. It's got to be 6 because something kind of rhymes with 6 pretty good. Are you in, Vampire Boy?
Like, I don't know who Spider-Man is. I don't like your weird leap in logic. But you son of a bitch, I mean.
Say, can you explain in full detail how you got that awesome, robot wingsuit? No. Great.
Great. I hope the food's better in this dimension.
Damn it. Okay, yeah, I need to get the limited edition tin box of that movie too.
Tin box. It's not the steel box anymore, it's the tin box.
It's a tin, yeah. It's already pre-rusted. Because they left the crate sitting out in the rain. Hey, has anybody seen the copies of Morbius? You care? No.
They left it out in the rain. I saw you and him. Walking in the rain.
You were holding hands.
You're all rusty. Just ship them. Ship them anyway.
Ship them anyway.
I just hope. I really just hope Doug's purchase of Madam Web on his 4K Steelbook doesn't prompt them to think we need a sequel in any way.
They're already making another one.
And
another one.
I bet if we looked at Doug's Amazon history, the Craven 4K Steelbox pre-order
is already pre-purchased. I'm putting together a collection of Sony's masterpieces. I'm gonna frame them and put them on a wall behind me.
I don't even know, when are these movies coming out? When's Craven coming out?
Craven's coming out in December.
December.
Yeah,
Christmas special.
It's a It's a Christmas special.
So excited.
Oh,
Oh.
you know what? We should make that a not your status quo tradition. Since we already know Craven's going to be like just make triple its budget. We know it's going to be the best movie ever. We should make it a new not your status quo tradition. Every December we watch Wonder Woman 84 and Craven.
Here at Not Your Status Quo, we hate it. We hate ourselves so much.
So much.
No, we will watch Rebel Moon
Oh,
and Wonder Woman 1984.
Yeah, if I want a good nap, I'll watch Rebel Moon.
By the way, did you guys hear? My brother told me this, and I had not seen this yet, but Zack Snyder wants to make a prequel 300 series. Well,
Is it a musical?
no. But the reason I bring this up isn't because of that. It's because why he said he wants to do that. He said
Why?
he needs to take a break from Rebel Moon for a bit.
Yeah, so do the rest of us.
Yeah, I'm thinking that was forced on him by
Good day.
Netflix. Hey, okay, I'm ready to start Rebel Moon Part 3, the flame that never dies with blood. Can I get my budget? Zach, we need to talk.
Yeah, with more blood and sex than you'll ever see in Star Wars.
It's not you. It's me. No, I'm sorry. It is definitely you. You're terrible.
Could you give us your vision in the first film we aired instead of everyone having to wait a year to see the director's cut that you say is your pure vision? We can't? Oh, okay. Well, I think we're good. I don't think we need part 3.
Did they put the director's cut out on Netflix yet, or when is that?
I don't
dropping?
think so. I haven't seen it, but I know it's coming.
Did anybody even watch part 2?
I don't know. I didn't.
I didn't watch it.
And you know what's really funny? I did not see any of the screen crushes or any of them. I didn't see any of them do a review of part 2 either.
Yeah, they're
I
probably
didn't
like
see any
us.
Easter eggs, breakdowns, or fun facts, things you missed. None of that.
Nobody missed anything, and they didn't watch.
Yeah.
And funnier yet, even funnier yet, I did not see a pitch meeting for part 2 either. From Ryan George, he did a pitch meeting for the first one, and I think even he realized like there's just no comedy in this. I can't. I'm milking a
It's too funny
story at
on
this
its own.
point.
Let's just hope that is the worst movie we see all year. Because if we have to watch something worse than Rebel Moon Part 1, that is going to be a huge disappointment. That is the
But,
lowest
remind
rated
me,
film.
what did I?
You
what
said
did I
it was
rate
off
Rebel
the
Moon?
Doug scale.
Uh,
I gave it a 0.5. That's a
I gave it a
0.5. That's less than 1. That is, and I think Dave gave. Did you give it a 0, Dave, or did?
Gave it a 0.
he gave it
Yep.
a 0. And I
Doug
gave it
wouldn't
a.
go negative, so
That was my score because I fell asleep and I barely remember any of it.
That is
I
one of
did
the
have
most
to.
forgettable movies I've ever watched.
Well, it was, and that's why I finally had to go pull out a notebook. I'm like, okay, I am not going to remember any of this garbage, and I had to go back and I had to rewatch scenes that I slept through in order to take notes, because like they got to all of a sudden I opened my eyes and they were on a moon filled with a bunch of rebels. Oh, hey, wait,
Is that Axe Grinder?
yeah, sure.
Blood X.
I know.
And there's like a bunch of people that I didn't know how they got there or who they were, and I'm like, wait, what did I miss? What is going on?
Dave, I was trying to bring in Quiet Riot lyrics. I'm in Axe Grinder, Pile Driver.
That's a deep cut right there.
Yes, we got to bring one deep cut in every stream. So
Quiet Riot.
Like, walking through the
Actually, one of my
rain
bands
wasn't
plays
our
that
deep
song.
cut.
you both were
Actually, one of
talking.
my bands plays that song. Isn't that crazy?
Do they really? Bang Your Head?
Yeah.
It's a catchy tune.
Yeah, for 1983.
Yeah, exactly. Nostalgia. You hear, you're like, I remember that song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was I listening to the other day? Okay. Oh yeah. I have I've been listening to a lot of ELO lately. I don't know why.
Because
Kind of
they're
been on
awesome.
Yellow?
Well, other than that. But I was sitting there like I was correcting tests, and I'm sitting there humming "Turn to Stone," and I'm like, okay, well, I'll find it on Spotify, and then I just found an ELO playlist, and that was the rest of my afternoon.
Every time I hear Mr. Blue Sky, I'm thinking I got to put on Guardians of the Galaxy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, every time I hear Mr. Blue Sky, it just reminds me of this montage video that I found on YouTube of all the sky beams in every superhero movie.
It's a montage. Well, should we find somebody to raid?
Sure.
Yeah, I think it's about that time. I think it's about that time. I
TG's
see
still on?
TG on. Yeah.
Melanie Mack. Who's Melanie Mack?
I don't know who that is.
I don't know why I'm following her.
Yeah, Macaw's on.
Macaw,
TG's there.
Jinxie.
I've got that one girl that we were watching before. She's still doing Fallout 4, apparently.
Oh, Laura Dreaming.
Yep. I've got Meat Canyon with 623 people playing Magic the Gathering. What, the card game?
No, I think there's a video of it.
Oh, okay.
Okey-dokey.
The Star Wars Underground is on. They've got 0 viewers, but I don't
Yeah,
think they pay
but
attention.
They don't pay attention to Twitch. I don't.
Yeah.
If we could raid YouTube, I would suggest it, but I don't think it. I honestly don't know why they stream to Twitch. Like, I'm not knocking them. If they do have an answer, I'd love to hear it.
Yeah.
Because I don't see them interact with anybody.
Maybe it's an easy way for them to record.
I didn't think of that. That could be.
You never know.
Yeah,
Well, let's raid TG.
I like that. Good idea.
Yeah. And for all of you thinking, hey, Sunday night, nope. I don't know if we mentioned this earlier. It's Father's Day, so we will be on Monday night talking The Boys. And when does House of Dragon come out?
Sunday night. So if we have
Sunday night.
time to watch it before Monday's stream, maybe we'll talk a little House of Dragon too.
Maybe.
But if not,
see.
we'll talk House of Dragon and the Acolyte episode 4 next Thursday night, and then back Sunday to talk The Boys. A lot of good, hopefully a lot of good stuff. Hopefully,
That's going to be an interesting thumbnail.
because did you guys see that the Boys is ending after season 5? It was renewed for season 5, and it's over.
That's kind of a shame.
I actually think that's probably a good thing. You know what? If you got to have good ideas.
I agree with Dave. If they're saying now we have this end point, they can really tighten up the writing leading into the end. So
okay.
I hope that's the case, because remember the end of last season was a little low quality, lower quality. I won't say low quality, but it fell off a little bit at the end last season. So I hope they can tighten that up and finish off the last 2 seasons strong, because that is such a great show.
Mm-hmm.
We get to watch 3 episodes tonight.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to watch them tonight.
Yeah, I won't be able to. I will hopefully get the 3 in by Monday. I should be able to get all 3 of them in by Monday, but because my nephew has we're about to raid in 8-9. So thanks everybody for coming out. Please join us Monday night for the Boys Talk and maybe House of the Dragon, and then next Thursday. We appreciate y'all.
Hey fellow nerds, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more of this stuff, make sure that you check out our Twitch stream. We try to do these live Sunday or Monday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Keep an eye on our social media to find out when you can join in live and chat with us during these live streams. Also, as usual, don't forget to check out our other social media. Add us at Twitter, comment down below, and we'll see you next time right here on Not Your Status Quo.